3, 2, 1. Woo! Off the court!
Welcome to Off the Core. We are a group of elective teachers who are finally hitting that record button to create a podcast.
This podcast is by educators for all educators. If you're an EA, first year, veteran, or anyone interested in school life, you can learn a little something while you listen.
Like and subscribe to join us for some inspirational stories, exciting activities, and classroom lesson ideas. It's time for real talk from the other side of the schedule.
This is Off the Core. Hi, we're here at school and we're here to check out Mr. Schultz's classroom.
Whoa, hey, welcome to pain, torture, agony. I'm just kidding. Welcome to Forensic Science. My name is Mr. Schultz, and this is where I spend the vast majority of my life. So welcome to my classroom dojo. Come on in, let's see what's going on. The crib. So this is where all the magic happens as we're entering the room here. First kids come on. I usually have them lined up outside so I can give quick instruction. Hey guys, when we get into class, get out your pencil, whatever you need, and place your bags in a designated location. Get rocking and rolling. So once the kids get all those things, if we're doing projects and things, they can find lots of supplies over here right at the beginning of the classroom. Pretty easy to find. We got all of our markers, pens, of course everything's still being organized. I have a couple teacher assistants that will help try to keep all that looking nice and pretty. They also take inventory so that we're always well stocked with the things we need for learning in here. We also have a little bit of a pride board and the rules. Gotta have scary rules. We got classroom rules, my top 5. Try 100% every day. Respect yourself, the classroom environment, school. Be considerate of others around you. Ask 3 before me is a fun one. And obviously come to class prepared every day. We also have some animal rules. You guys will probably get to know me as we continue embarking on the pod here. I do a lot of work with animals. I pretty much specialize with reptiles. So really privileged actually to be at this school because I have the ability to take my animals to school. So offering the students interactions, obviously no horseplaying around animals, that's not safe. Being gentle with the animals because they are living things, not toys. Not putting too much stress on the animals. We don't want the kids just like, all right, yeah, let me hold that thing. Okay, I'm done. Spend some time with the animal. Don't pass them around so fast. Number 4, not leaving animals unattended. Sometimes that accidentally has happened. A student leaves an animal on the desk and okay, who's watching this thing? So yeah, we don't want animals falling off the desks. And don't put animals on the floors, on tabletops. For one, the floor is dirty. Who knows what kind of germs are on there. The tables are kind of dirty too, so maybe we'll wipe those down. Either way, just always trying to make sure that the kiddos and the animals have a positive experience with our interactions. So, it's still working on the jungle board here too. It's a work in progress. Progressing through the room here. I've really designed the space so that it's the most conducive for learning possible. We have a series of small group tables in here. Really want the students to feel like when they come in here that, okay, this classroom isn't designed to set up in a way that doesn't allow me to communicate or collaborate with my friends. It is situated in a way that, invites students to want to collaborate, share ideas, work together. Super important is the whole rows thing didn't really work out. Lots of space, we're able to navigate. When students come into class and they leave their backpacks at the front, we don't got backpacks everywhere that you're tripping all over. You don't got kids being sneaky. Last year kids, when they had the backpacks on the tables and they'd be sneaky, clicking, taking text messages or sneaking talkies, eating in class. So we supersede that issue, tell the kids, get what you need, and then place your backpacks over there. Problem solved. So now, behind you here, we have a fancy TV, Mimeo. Really cool, these things. You can like draw on them, do crazy things. The kids and I were doing a fun drawing activity today, getting to know you. One of my other favorite podcasts, the Wild Times podcast, do a funny game called Battle Royale where they create creatures. They come up with a scenario and they have to create a creature to help with that scenario. So essentially what kids did today is they did the Battle Royale. It's your first day at school, new campus, you don't know nobody. It's kind of scary how you're going to survive the school year and get through it alive. Well, you're going to create a creature, a companion. You're going to give it a body of like a mammal, fish, reptile, whatever. You're going to give it some appendages. You have to give it a special ability and some sort of personality. And you have to be able to justify just how this creature is going to be the best study buddy, help keep you safe, get you through your school year fine and dandy. So as the kids did that, they took a vote at each table, which design did they like the best, and I would proceed to draw them up here. And let me tell you, today we had some very interesting creatures. And lots of really great creativity. Gives the kids a chance to, think critically, think about what kind of animals they know of, access background knowledge, collaborate with peers. It's just pure fun. So, progressing, come on over this way. We got a handful of animals in here. We got a little bit of critter corner here. We got some rats. We got some mice. We're gonna get some breeding groups going on here. As I mentioned earlier, I breed reptiles. Well, I didn't mention that earlier, but I work a lot with reptiles. I breed reptiles, and I'm at the point where I've had to start breeding my own feeders, unfortunately. Too bad snakes don't eat salad. But these guys are really cool, really interesting, fun to watch. They're little pocket puppies, and the kids really like them too. So it's nice having areas where the students are able to sit in somewhat relative close proximity with the animals. Hopefully that makes just class more interesting, more inviting. Kids actually really want to be here. They're handleable, kind of stinky. If you've got a TA, gotta have a TA to stay on top of that, keep them clean, because if you don't every 3 days, it's like you're cutting onions, your eyes start to water. It's not that bad. All right, here we got some classroom supplies. So primarily I teach forensic science, so we'll have all kinds of fun things. We've got microscopes for hair analysis. When we show the kids, how you're looking at like dog hair, not human hair. What's the difference? We're gonna have to look at like some specific characteristics to determine the difference there. We got fake blood, we got drug detection tests, we have DNA profiling, fingerprinting, all kinds of fun stuff. It's really gonna be, we are a PBL school, project-based learning, so all hands on. I just can't wait to get my hands dirty. What's next? We got lots of crazy bones. All of those are real bones. I think they're horse bones. They were left here in my classroom, so I'm like, I'll put them to use. It's kind of the nice thing. Every year I take over a new room, and people always leave some cool things behind. Pretty sure they're horse bones. That one might be a javelina skull, and we got some casts. Some gorilla skull cast, human skull cast. I need more skeletons and more skulls. All right, we're making our way around the room here. We have another table group, and this is kind of a fun station. Working on building some faux rock and some props where I could display some animals. So here in our hammock, we have an albino green iguana. Her name is Inferno. Looks like she's taken herself a little snooze. She looks like has eaten all of her salad. So it's kind of nice for the kids who are sitting here. They could be doing work and they can look up in the trees and just see her chilling there. And this girl doesn't have an enclosure in here. I've worked a lot so far to just really socialize her. She's with me every single day. Really used to human interaction now, is pretty much desensitized by it. So she'll spend most of her time up there. She might explore a little bit, but kind of just really cool and fun and special that I get to share that with the kids. I'm very privileged to be at this campus. It's amazing. So moving on, we have a sink, which is really nice to have. Now if I can just get a bathroom in here, that'd be really nice. But this will suffice. So kids make a big old mess in here, well, they can go clean it up. And kids are always asking, hey, can I go wash my hands? I'm like, yeah, right here. They don't gotta leave the classroom for it. Next to the sink, we've got some fun gerbils. These guys do not have names. There's 4 males in here, and these guys are like little construction workers. You set up their house, and then in 30 minutes, they have it completely, totally rearranged and chewed up. very entertaining animals to just observe. Super cute. Moving on, what else we got? Lots of fun posters. Really, this class is all about all the fun sciences, though forensics is my specialty. I like to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got some geography. We got some, astronomy, constellation, space. We got Science Santa. It's kind of a fun, cheesy thing I created a couple years ago. I'm also an artist. Got my first college degree in fine art. So around Christmas time, I created this. Is a Science Santa was trying to make a galactic cookie recipe, and well, a chemical reaction in his face. Science Santa, be careful making new cookie recipes. So yeah, I wanted really ideally each corner to kind of have like its own feel. Like the space corner, the pop culture corner, the jungle corner, kind of have like a little theme for each section of the room. So that, students maybe feel like they can identify with something here in the room, a section that, really speaks to them, where they feel exceptionally comfortable. I do offer students like real flexible seating. Really, I want my students to come in here and feel comfortable wherever they feel comfortable sitting. And then once, maybe the environment, we're rocking and rolling, we're getting into instruction, lessons and things. If the seating arrangement might not be the most conducive for learning, then we might start, changing the seating arrangement at that point. But for the most part, when kids come in and, they sit where they feel comfortable, if you know how to build relationships and earn the kids' trust and really work on those, classroom management, you shouldn't have any issues. For the most part, since school started, kids have been able to sit with their friends, and once you have those classroom management strategies down, the kids do really well, even if they're sitting with their friends. They can get a little rowdy, but when I'm walking around, I'm always listening for, is this productive noise or is this just noise? Gotta listen. Okay, making our way back through the room. Whiteboards, really good. So here's kind of like our Battle Royale instructions. So the kids had to choose a type of animal. Are you gonna go with a mammal, a reptile, bird, fish, whatever. Give it a body. Give it some appendages, a special ability, and a personality. But then they'll have to justify how this creature is going to help them survive the school year. And it's just hilarious, so funny what these kids come up with. And I'll tell you, all day, these kids, they've been putting like human legs and arms on animal bodies. It's terrifying. Okay, we got, I guess, that whiteboard. Human anatomy things. I don't know what to do with this guy because every year the kids like play with it, and each year I lose more and more body parts. So all of his organs are locked away somewhere. Okay, we got another whiteboard. The Battle Royale, to give the kids an idea of like what I was looking for. This is the monstrosity that I was able to conjure up. So I gave my creature the body of a moa. What's really cool, the moa is an extinct prehistoric bird. Went extinct about 600 years ago from New Zealand. They were like 12 feet tall, 1,000 pounds. They were massive. What's really cool is Colossal Bioscience is a de-extinction company. They are bringing them back. So hey, a couple more years, we might see some moas. Super awesome, but we got the giant moa here. He's got the appendages of an octopus, so we could get some serious multitasking done. We get all of our homework done all at once. The moa's pretty big, it's pretty tall, so he can see threats from far away. Perhaps he can use his big old body to clear some room in the hall so, no claustrophobic, I can have all the space to get to class. He's got the special ability of a tick, because a tick, for its size, can jump higher than any other animal, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. They can jump really high for their size. If I was a tick, I'd probably be able to jump over a 60-story building, no problem. And that's just the thing, to justify this, how's it gonna be a good school companion? I got a class way on the other side of the building and I'm always late, so hey, we could just jump right over the 300 building and I'm always on class on time. This thing is pretty friendly, gave him the personality, sociable, loyal, but don't pick on me, otherwise he'll peck at you. So now that gave the kids a little bit of an idea what I was looking for with the Battle Royale. Usually at this station here, it's cool because my TV, now that I figured out this technology, how to use it, my computer to the TV, and I can still kind of keep an eye on everybody. I'm not so confined to one spot in the room. It's kind of one thing maybe as a new teacher you might not want to do. Proximity is key. If you're constantly moving around the room, like the students know, I'm like, okay, the teacher was over here, he's gonna be back in a couple minutes, not enough time for me to get off task. So that proximity, being around the students, constantly keeping them engaged, super important. before I figured out the technology thing, how to connect my computer to the Mimeo, I'd be like really constrained. I'd be like doing the whole lesson just from this spot the whole time, and I wasn't able to, have those meaningful connections with the students as if you were circulating the room. So, I love this thing. Over here, let's see, progressively making our way over to the teacher's desk. Got, I guess, the pop culture corner. Lots of fun posters. I really want to try to identify with the kids, and really all this stuff is me. I love Marvel, I love Jurassic Park, I'm a total nerd, love Dragon Ball Z and anime. It gives me, definitely something to talk with the kids, because the kids really identify with this. And at the end of the day, I try not to take my job super serious. I'm like, all right, we're just here reading and learning and doing work, but a big part of this is building relationships with kids, earning their trust, and when they feel comfortable, like they want to, share extra things with you, like they're just going to be that much better of a wonderful student because, they feel comfortable with you, they want to share with you, they trust you. That's what it's all about. It's kind of like my teaching philosophy, is just building trust and making them feel welcome. If you're having a good time, the kids are probably having a good time. All right, what else we got? We got guinea pigs. We got lots of fun guinea pigs. And what's crazy is one of them is actually preggy. It's pregnant again. We got Latte here. Oh, that's not Latte. That's actually one of her babies. But yeah, these guys are super fun. They make lots of cool squeaky noises. Let's see if we can pop open this here so you guys get a little better look at them. Here they are. So there's 4 of them in here. They got a male out here. I'm not sure what his breed is, but he's got a very hairy butt. That's Carrot. That's the male, and he got Latte pregnant. Latte's this white one here. See if we can scare her out. The other white one is actually Latte's baby. And then we have Pumpkin, which I believe Pumpkin is an Abyssian. She's got a crazy hairdo. And then the other 2 white ones are American short hairs. So yeah, kind of fun. My mentor here at the school I work at, Miss Reno, she teaches 7th grade science, and she does all the mammal stuff in her room. She has a unit every year whenever they get to genetics. They start doing Punnett squares, and what happens, we got this male and this female, what's the baby's gonna look like? So it's cool that now I'm getting to like breeding animals, that I understand genetics. How does this recessive gonna, influence these traits? What is this is this a recessive trait? Is this a codominant trait, a dominant trait? And how are they going to influence, what kind of babies are they gonna make? So it's kind of cool to actually physically do that, use real animals, see what they create, and not just have to read it out of a book. Okay, we got the guinea pigs. Something I'm going to try better to stay on top of this year is classroom class average competitions. So I already have all my stuff printed out, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I have all my sections. I got first period forensic science, second period unified gardening, career exploration. I got all the classes. So to kind of, promote some healthy competition, I encourage the kids to every day try your best, turn in everything. I mean, you can't fail if you just do your best and turn in everything, right? So each week I'll have my teacher assistant sit down and calculate the class averages. I'll just hand her a list of numbers. Let her know. I'm like, okay, this is that person's grade, that person's grade. That information is confidential. I just give her the numbers. Here's all the grades this week. Add them all up, calculate the average, and we'll see by the end of the 9 weeks which class has the highest average, and who knows, they might just get an ice cream party. Something. All right, we've made it to where some of the magic happens. I do not spend a whole lot of time here. Rather, my desk, rather than sitting at it doing work, it's really good at just holding things. It just collects documents, papers, projects, all kinds of things I'm working on. We've got a lovely, if kids are on their cell phone, well, hey, guess what? I can lock it up in here and they don't have access to their cell phone. We have filing cabinets. I always tell the kids that, behind the desk is the teacher zone. It's not a place meant for the kiddos because, we got confidential documents. We have students' personal information, not information for other kiddos' eyeballs. So unless I give them specific instruction, like, hey, Chase, can you go behind my desk, top drawer, get the tape? If I give them specific instruction and I trust that student, then, that's okay. But typically, you never see any kids back here. So, and I'm also old school. Got me an old school chalkboard, that eventually I'll use to maybe put the agenda. I do like to let the kids know like what the trajectory of the week is gonna possibly be like. Monday we're doing this, Tuesday we're doing that. When I was growing up, we would like Monday have to write the agenda, and that was like 30 minutes to just write down what we're doing for the week. Seems like a waste of time. I don't ever have the kids take notes because it's not a good strategy for learning, because they're just busy scrambling trying to get the notes down rather than really comprehending and understanding what they're writing. So we never take notes in here. Rather, I'll put the information up here so at least they just have an awareness. Like, oh, we got a test on Thursday. You know, it's not no surprise, no shocker. They'll know what's coming. So since it's just the beginning of the school year here, welcome to Forensic Science, Unified Gardening, and Animal Care. I almost wish I brought in some more animals, because I did just hatch a couple clutches of royal pythons. Like I said, I'm a reptile breeder. Is the only species that I've ever really produced so far. Had a bearded dragon that laid a bunch of eggs for me last night. That was crazy. Unfortunately, they're infertile, so no bearded dragon babies. We got lots of royal pythons. Perhaps in the future pod, we'll bring some animals on, show you guys some crazy creatures that I work with. And definitely hit up my channel. I have a channel, Prehistoric Companions. I teach people about reptiles, how to care for them, breeding, how to create zoo quality enclosures. When you walk into the reptile house at a zoo, you see like those waterfalls and the trees. I teach people how to make stuff like that. So check it out. We got a student art board. I really do. Before anything else, I've always been an artist. Since I could like grab a pencil and express myself putting designs on paper, I've always just, tried to be creative, and I encourage my students to be creative. So far I only have one beautiful work of art, and hopefully by the end of the year this thing will just be completely filled with amazing creations that my students, made for me. Usually they draw really funny pictures of me, like there ain't no way I look like that, I'm too skinny. I also like to display some of my artwork. Definitely not some of my best pieces, but some old pieces from college, some old charcoal drawings, a nice value scale. Kind of, talk a little bit about that, because I really do think, science and art really do go hand in hand. So there's a lot of room for creativity, especially now that I'm electives, I'm off the core. I have a lot of autonomy. I have a lot of freedom and ability to kind of make this class what I ideally would like it to be. What do I think my students need to know? What kind of teaching strategies or student tasks will be the most engaging, and we just have fun in forensics. And that's my class tour. I might be forgetting things, but for the most part, this is Mr. Schultz's class in a gist. All right, thank you guys for stopping by. I really love sharing with you guys, but now it's time to get out. Time for you guys to go and scram, do something else, move on with your life. I gotta go have dinner. I'm tired, my feet hurt, I've been talking all day. Adios, bye.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz, for that amazing room tour. It's very creative.
Absolutely, thank you.
I bet the kids love it.
They do, thank you. I appreciate that.
So I do have a couple questions for you.
Excuse the piggies, they're noisy.
They're pretty excited to hear your answers to this too, apparently.
Wow.
So, why did you choose middle school?
Yeah, I don't know if I chose middle school mostly. Well, let's see, let's backtrack a little bit. So when I graduated college, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Parents told me I gotta get a job. Didn't know I got my college degree in art, so it's like, what am I gonna do? Sell a bunch of paintings? Not feasible, not realistic. And after a whole summer of failure after failure, eventually I landed a job in Colorado, did that for 4 years, and I always wanted to teach. That's always something I wanted to do, because in college, I was in the sculpture department, did some work with other incoming students. I was a sculpture teacher assistant, professor assistant, and I really enjoyed just working with people, collaborating, brainstorming, helping people with material concepts and things. So my whole time after graduating college and being in Colorado, I always still wanted to be a teacher, and started where, I had a couple of preschools on my route where I teach kiddos about wonderful reptiles, and that's kind of what really got me started down that path. And I missed my family terribly. I needed to come back to New Mexico, so I got on the internet. I saw whatever job opportunities that were available as close to my family as possible. Started off with 5th grade in Alamogordo, teaching science. I initially applied for the music position because my background is in art and music, so I thought I'd land that. But after the principal and vice principal hearing me talk about the reptiles, like, no, you're good for science. So from there, I mean, I just loved working with the kids. I loved inspiring them, showing them really cool things. The whole middle school thing didn't come into the picture till maybe like 2.5 years later. I was trying to get closer to my family. I was still about an hour away, and I saw another science position open up in Las Cruces and apply, and I was just surprised how quickly things were moving at that point. Like, you hit the submit button, and then people start calling you, and it just moves so fast. And I'm so happy where I'm at now, because I feel like I'm able to have more interesting conversations. I can use bigger words and articulate myself more so than what you could do with 5th graders. So this is, I think, is my bread and butter here.
Thank you for your cool answer, your bread and butter. So, as part of your bread and butter, middle schoolers, I would say, are unpredictable. What was the most interesting interaction you've ever had with one of them?
What is the most interesting interaction I had with a student? I guess maybe like a negative interaction, a positive one, doesn't really matter.
Something more like, what was funny? They said something, you're like, oh, I was not expecting that today.
Maybe it's more like the things that students do that you don't expect. I guess some behaviors. One time, like I said, we're a PBL school. We do projects and things, hands-on, and give materials to kids. And sometimes the things they choose to do with those materials is like, okay, why didn't I think that this would happen? So like last year, I taught 6th grade science, and as we were wrapping up the school year, I saw a fun idea like DIY hot air balloons. So like someone took like a little candle and some string and like a plastic bag, and they made a legit hot air balloon. So we tried to do that with the kids. I gave them the materials, and I kid you not, like 3 seconds, I turn around again, I see a student with the bag over his head and pretending to choke, and my jaw was to the floor, and that was the end of that activity immediately. So you live and you learn, you don't know these things until you know. And when you're planning activities, I guess a good piece of advice is just really think about everything that could possibly happen and save yourself the trouble.
I think with middle schoolers, they think so outside the box. You're like, that didn't even occur to me that something like that could happen. You're like, yes.
Just when I thought that this is going to be cool, this will be fun, you got to shut it down. Because you got to keep the kids safe, and you just got to wonder what's going through some kids' minds. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Well, what it is the boys, because they're like, okay, my friends laugh at me, they approve of what I'm doing, this feels good. It's like, on Facebook, you get a like, that's addiction. Like, oh, I gotta get more likes. Whatever I'm doing, I gotta keep doing more of that. So these kids doing silly, goofy, not safe behaviors, and their friends are laughing, well, this is great, do more. Well, that's where you start seeing more and more extreme behaviors.
That is true. They do egg each other on. I do like to tell my students that I'm the main character. I'm the funny one. I'm the only one that you need to listen to.
Star of the show.
I am the star of this show. Not this show. Not off the court. But like in my classroom, I'm the star of the show.
Exactly.
So we're going to do a little segue. If you weren't a teacher, what job, 1, would you want? Or what job, 2, is like your dream job? Like when you could get theoretically now?
Well, I've always aspired to be a tattoo artist. Definitely, I have quite a portfolio built up. I'm quite versatile in what I'm able to do. I can do realism, neo-traditionalism, not like actual tattooing, but I've done a handful of tattoos on willing participants. Anyone who's willing to let me sink some ink, or practice on yourself. I don't recommend that. Unless you don't care. That's definitely something that I could probably go do right now. Something I would love, because I love working with people. I love giving them art that means something significant to them. I mean, a lot of the designs that I've even designed for people from high school that I went with that reached out to me and have my art on their body and what it means for them, how much it helps them in their life, it's special that I can do that for people. So yeah, ideally, like now, that would be a cool job that I could do right now. But as far as like a dream job, well, I'm also doing that right now too, but it's not quite come to fruition. I'm building a zoo. I one day here in Las Cruces hope and aspire to have some commercial property, mini putt golf, with crazy waterfalls, like something you'd see in California, like you drive by, what is that place? And it's fun for the whole family. So we'll have the zoo, whole reptile zoo. I'm hands-on with everything. I want people to come. I want you to hold snakes. I want you to overcome that fear. I want you to appreciate and love them the way that I've come to learn and appreciate them, because I did grow up with that fear too. I used to be terrified of snakes, but the more you know, the less you fear. So yes, the dream, the big grand dream, I want to have, some land for mini putt golf, a whole zoo, reptarium, aquarium. Maybe we'll get some camels, do camel rides. We'll have a snake therapy center, have lots of business ideas. So if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
That's some great advice. And it'd be really cool to see putt-putt golf come back.
That sound means that we are at the end of our podcast for today. Thank you for joining us and listening to Off the Core. We hope you had fun and heard something you liked in our activities.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us on our podcasting journey.